Okay, Facebook, YouTube family, welcome to my channel, Earth, Water, the Sun, and Rain. Hopefully today's video is not going to be too long. For those of you familiar with my channel, you all know that I have a massive Golden Pothos vine, which it goes to my, I guess I can do it real quick. It goes over to my aquarium. It starts out of my aquarium filter and then it runs the course of my living room, and then it was starting to stretch way into my dining room. You see how big this thing is, and that's only like a quarter of it. So originally I was gonna drape it on the wall. You can see this little tack here. Well, maybe you can't. I'm gonna take it out. I had it tacked to the wall. But if you guys remember, when I originally came up with the idea for this, I was possibly saying that I might terminate it in like a pot. And that's what I'm going to end up doing, because this thing is just simply too big. It's too heavy. So I'm going to do it right before your eyes. But guess what? I also got the baby ZZ plant. And this is some kind of Dracaena. I just recently bought one of these in my other plant haul. I don't know if it's a corn plant or not. If it is, I probably seem extremely ignorant. I'm just not used to seeing them so young. But this probably is a corn plant, which is where I have. You guys got part of my camera work today. That's a corn plant, and it's also mixed with a Golden Pothos vine. So I'm basically doing possibly a younger version of it. So no need to keep playing around. Let's just get to it. I want this video to be fast if possible. I always say that. It's gonna be another mixed potting arrangement. This is not really, you can tell it's not really too root bound, just like the part of it. I'm gonna put this kind of like right there, left of center. It's my right, but it's your left. My ZZ plant here. I don't got time to play with this thing. It's wet. I wish it came from the nursery already wet. I kind of wish they didn't do it like that, because it makes it harder for me to do what I'm trying to do. The part of being a gardener, whether indoors or outdoors, you just have to know you're going to get dirty. You're going to come in contact with soil. It's a high likelihood. Indirectly, you've come into contact with possibly insects. Come on, this is taking longer than what I wanted it to take. You guys know I really don't edit my videos. Pretty much what you see is what you get. Some people do like that style, some don't. Kind of doesn't matter, because that's just how I do it. That's what it is. I did gain a new pot out of that, so that's good. This is going to be messy, I have no question. You can see the roots coming out the bottom. Hopefully they're not worms. If it is, oh well. You just tip it. Like I said, I'm not playing with this thing the way I normally do. I don't got time for that. Come on, you. I know it's going to be a mess. I know I got to sweep later, so it ain't even, bam. Told you, I'm not playing with this thing. It's not really root bound, so I'm just going to take some of these trailing roots and just make sure they're pointing kind of in the down position. And that's going to be more so towards the back, well, like the back center of it. You don't want it to be too tacky or nothing, but okay, no games. So what I do, everyone knows I use cactus mix. The bottom is always orchid bark. And I have a little, I already put this, but this is like my regular potting soil. It's already in there. That spares me. So what I usually do, this is how I do it. Around the root balls, I prefer to have orchid bark just because I don't like my roots sitting in soil. Everybody does what they do different. That's the beauty of the world we live in. You don't have to do it the same. So many times people pigeonhole themselves, and just because one does it one way, that's how everybody assumes they got to do it, and it's not like that. Especially this ZZ plant, being that it's already kind of moist, I'm going to put a lot of cactus bark around the base of where the roots are at the bottom. That way I know for a fact that it's never sitting in water, and ZZ plants do not like that. They like to be pretty much on the drier side of things. So I'm not going to have a whole bunch of potted soil around their base because I know they don't like that. So it's really a lot of orchid bark around the bottom of the roots. Now the next layer is going to be a little bit of cactus mix that's more porous. It has orchid bark in it. That's going to be just this little top layer, like a thin layer of it. And you go around the whole pot as much as you can. The ZZ plant, I'm not pushing it too deep into there. And I don't want to forget my Golden Pothos because that's the whole point of this project. Okay, now you can actually see it. See these air roots right there? Those are going to be what I'm going to try to bury into the soil, and I'm just going to let it wrap around. As you see what I'm doing? See that? Let me move this out the way. What I'm doing is, I need to kind of get it close to the wall as I can. Okay, see this? It's kind of going to suck because I'm going to have to leave it here until it stretches a little bit better. Maybe not. You know what? No, that looks ugly. Eventually, I'm going to move it back here. I'm just doing this for the point of the video. I'm going to get this Golden Pothos in here. And it's going to be at the base of the ZZ plant. I'm going to be very careful not to bury this last root because the whole point is I want it to have freedom of movement. So it can continue to wrap around. So if I bury it too much, it's going to be it's going to do something I don't want it to do. I don't want the last air root. I want it to go out so it's not, so I can keep wrapping it in a different direction. And it needs to be free flowing too. It can't be wedged in. Put more orchid bark. That's just kind of to cement it. The trailing part of it, I want that to be buried under here. I want the trailing part buried, but I don't want the lead air roots to be buried. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. You know, somebody out there in the plant world knows what I'm getting at. I want the front to be locked in, but the back I do. So, okay. I gotta put more orchid bark. And once I give it a good water, and the roots eventually it'll self-adjust. And so the pothos right now it's kind of laying flat a little bit, but as soon as it starts reaching towards the sun, it'll start elevating itself again. So this is really it. I know people, a lot of times when you see these videos, you probably look at them like that doesn't look like much. It's because when you first set it up, it's going to take time before these roots lock themselves in. And once they do, then they'll straighten up and the plant will face in a different direction. So this is it actually. I almost don't want to water it because of how wet it is, but being that I know what I know about plants, I'm still going to water it anyways, just to start the process of cementing the soil and getting these air roots something to aim for. The ZZ plant really does not need water. But I'll keep everybody updated on this. There you have it. Possibly a baby corn plant. Possibly, but it's definitely a Dracaena ZZ plant. And then my Golden Pothos is anchoring itself in here. Eventually I'm going to move it back once I get off camera. Thank you all for your time.